All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM here. Happy Thursday, right? It's Thursday. Doesn't feel like a Thursday. Feels like Tuesday, maybe. I don't know what that means. But hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic week here so far. It's been an awesome trading week here. I think something like 5 consecutive green days in a row at this point, and starting to find a little bit of momentum right back inside these markets. Yesterday, the analysis that we had, right, on it basically being a bounce spot at that 5,850, right, and a bounce spot off of that trend line was pretty much spot on, and we nailed it, right? We're able to take advantage of that bounce higher and had ourselves another strong trading day. Now, yesterday, right, the thing that we were probably missing was just that volume standard, right? Volume was pretty low there, just about as low as Monday, and Monday was the lowest volume since July 3rd, and Monday was also a bond market holiday. So very muted, unenthusiastic, right? Kind of pathetic price action, if we're going to call it that, right, on an ES level. And so very much, don't want to put too much stock, right, into yesterday's price action, as it wasn't necessarily that significant. But we're now at new all-time highs on ES, right, which is obviously very, very impressive. And NQ, right, not too far behind here as we creep up towards earnings season. So today, right, we're going to make sure that we're detailed with our analysis. We have a good plan on how we expect markets to behave. And then when we kind of sync up all of those narratives, we're going to focus on controlling the variables we can't control. I know every day, every morning rant kind of goes back, right, to those kind of key elements. But it's all about understanding that, hey, okay, if we focus on losing small, we focus on getting good entry timing, and we focus on scaling out our position as our P&L is increasing, then we're fundamentally always going to put ourselves in good situations where it's easy to be successful. And this week has been a masterclass in that, right? Not just from myself, but from all of you here as well, where you're reinforcing to yourself, right, the power of that consistency, the power of that repetitive technique, and basically the power of ignoring that short-term variance so that you can accomplish your long-term goals. Few things I'd like to see the team kind of continue to improve on here, right, is closing your trades or not panic closing your trades at 1R. If you're risking $500 and you're closing all your winners once you're up $500, don't get me wrong, it's nice to get a win, and that's a nice little base hit here for sure, but it just destroys your ability to have a margin for error. And if you need a 80, 90, 75% win rate, right, to just make a little bit of cash in the market, you're not setting yourself up to really have any success here long term. So it's not to say that, closing it at 1R sometimes won't be the right decision. It absolutely can be, but if you're not getting those 3R wins, you're not getting those 5R wins, you're not going to actually set yourself up, right, to be able to survive that drawdown easily. So if one loss, right, can wipe out 5 winners, or one loss can wipe out 1 win, then you're kind of having the reverse ratio of where you want your portfolio to be, right? We want 1 win to be covering 5 losses, not 1 loss, right, to be recovering, right, from 5 wins. So the thing that we have to kind of realize here as traders is that, when we are making our trading decisions, it very much, like, the market loves to make us feel as if our losers are going to turn into winners, and that our winners are going to turn into losers. And we can't allow that just like blind bias to influence our decision making, and we need to be objective in our analysis so that we can continue to hold on to those wins and see those nice wins turn into awesome wins, and for those awesome wins to turn into account changing wins, right? And that is all a choice. It's got nothing to do with trailing drawdown. It's got nothing to do with how much space you have in your account. It's got nothing to do with anything along those lines. So don't trick yourselves into thinking that those are the variables that are going to force you, right, to take a win off at 1R or less. That is a self-imposed limiting belief, and I want you all to fight through some of those mindsets and to have that shift so that you can scale up your trading better. So, with that being said, let's start mapping things out here this AM, figure out what we want to do, and have ourselves a fantastic trading day. So first things first, right, we check the economic calendar here for Thursday. We had jobless claims. We're no Fed speakers here today. We've got some 10 a.m. data. So we have to be a little bit cautious here today, right? Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for price action to set up and show up in the way that we want. But again, that's fine. Yesterday, we were a little bit later in our opening trade. Same thing on Tuesday, right? So no big deal if we have to be a little bit cautious. So let's start it off. What's the count here on ES? Let's get going there. And then go from there. So good morning, Daniel, Steven, John, Jeff, Salstein, Brian, Derek, Craig, Nate, Jeremy, Dustin, Fernando, Don, Bugs, Ben, Brett, Juan, Mike, Ruben, Vitali, and Jack. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic session here. Good morning, Cordell. So I use Market Watch for my economic calendar. You can also use Forex Factory. If you just Google U.S. market calendar, you'll find anything that works. And yeah, spot on, right? Yesterday, a day of consolidation, inside bar there. So we're looking, right, for a ATH breakout. Good morning, Alfonso. Right, and a continuation, right, above this 59.2250 area. Good morning, SG. And then we're going to be targeting a move towards like 59.40, right? And then beyond, right, towards like, I was going to say 5,600, but 59 or 6,000. Oh my gosh, can't find my words here this AM. So let's see if this thing's got some juice here, right, to really push us higher. Good morning, Matt. And let's see if we can kind of go from there to the downside, right? You know, if we get a big fake out above all-time highs, and then break down back down towards this morning's lows, for sure could be the scenario that's in play, right? The size of this morning's gap up is a little bit maybe disproportionate, right? It's been the size of the general average move, right? We've seen in the last, we'll say a week or so, right? Maybe even fortnight. And so maybe the concern, right, if you're a bull, is that the move has happened here in the pre-market versus it setting itself up to happen here post-market open. So we'd like to see a very impressive volume standard show up here. And then if we do get a breakdown, right, we're going to target like 58.80, 58.70, right? And then fine, we got it kind of mapped out already from there. But yeah, just got to be a little bit cautious going into all-time highs, right, on low volume. We want to see those areas hold. If they can't, then we should get a mean reversion set up here to show up at some point this morning. Good morning, Herschel. All right, NQ, what's the count? Yeah, you guys are spot on, right? 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume. Nice little bounce off that trend line. So we had that narrative spot on, right, yesterday. And then we're looking, right, for a breakout towards like 2,700. So not too much changing. Again, if we get a retest off that trend line today, that could be a spot for us to look for those dip buys. Probably a little bit challenging for us to get that type of sell-off here this morning. But again, that narrative will be in play. And then for us, right, it's going to be a ORB fake out around 2,700 here to the downside. If that rejects, right, with a significant amount of volume, then we can look for a move back down towards sort of that trend line, which is like that 2,200 area. So not too much changing here, right? Yesterday, relatively muted day of price action. So don't need to be hyper aggressive, but let's see how it goes. All right, crude. I'm not going to trade this, right? Roll happening tomorrow. It's kind of going inside bar setup here. Not exactly a fantastic day of range there yesterday. So not expecting this to be particularly tradable. And then we can kind of figure it out. All right, Apple, what's the count? Good morning. Yeah, 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume, spot on. Again, if we look at sort of the last 2 days here in a row, right, it just looks like a really disgusting doji, and we're opening up in the middle of that range. So still looking for a breakout above 237.50, still looking for a breakdown under now 230, but this just looks kind of indecisive here. So no need to be hyper aggressive. All right, Tesla, little inside bar. Still looking for that gap fill breakout attempt, right? So above 224.50-ish, right? That's gonna be the starting point, and then to the downside. If we can lose that range, then cool. But short term just kind of looks like a post deliveries event or whatever where they introduced the robots. It's been pretty much consolidating since then. So I do think it's going to try to test that gap. That would be the starting point here for any thesis. All right, Microsoft, possibly a little bit of a bear flag setup here long term, right? Maybe something along those lines. Green candle, decreasing volume, gap up. So 2 out of 3 here. Right, and then we're looking, I'm going to say 424 breakout, right? Although it's, at 420, nice. Not exactly a clear indication here of trending price action. So I'm going to look for an invalidation of this potential pattern prior to me being very aggressive. And then to the downside here, that's under like 411. So either a bear flag breakdown, right? Or basically a continuation of whatever momentum, right, the early bulls have sort of established here off of these lows. All right, Amazon inside bar holding that trend line relatively well. Bounced off that, bounced off that green box with a decent amount of conviction here back-to-back days. So now we're looking, right, for a breakout here. I think I could probably do 188.50. That's fine. Again, another bounce off of that 186 area makes some sense. But let's see a consolidation breakout. Okay, AMD. Red candle, decreasing volume, big gap up. Going into retesting that possible trend line. So this could be setting up as like a Bollinger Band reversal, right? So rejection off of the trend line. Right, and then to the upside here, would like to get above that previous bearish pressure, so like 165-ish, before we're willing to be aggressive. What's the early theme we're seeing here this AM? Yeah, gap ups and generally weak gap ups, right? So gap ups that aren't supported necessarily off of a ton of volume. So we'd like to see basically that momentum and strength show back up prior to us being aggressive. All right, NVIDIA needs to break out above 141. Nailed it as that possible inside bar setup, so did set up as an inside bar. Now gapping up above that area of consolidation. And so we're looking, right, for, we'll say a 141 breakout here, right, for basically that all-time high breakout. If not, right, it's basically going to be an all-time high rejection and then reverse back down towards 130. And I'm just saying Bollinger Band reversal here, because if we look at this on like a shorter time frame, we're above, right, the upper Bollinger Band line. So these are going to open up relatively expanded. So that would just be your setup here for a reversal. I love Bollinger Bands. They're some of my favorites. All right, Meta. Trend line breakdown. Increasing not outlier volume, but increasing volume gap up. Reminds me maybe a little bit of AMD. So either expect it to reject off of the trend line, right? Or if we're going to be bullish, probably need to get back up above 600. Okay, Netflix going into earnings, so no interest in this here today. It's a little bit of a sociopath, right, on earnings day. So I don't have too much desire, right, to look at this or to force trade this or do anything silly. Let's see how this kind of shapes up here post earnings. If we get some crazy volatility, and maybe that's what NQ is waiting for here, right? Kickoff of tech earnings season. So no reason to be very aggressive. All right. Google, green candle, decreasing volume, gap up. So again, 2 out of 3 here to the upside without the volume. And so we're still looking for that trend line breakout, right? If we're going to be bullish. And then if we're bearish, right, we're looking for like a 164 breakdown. So not too much changing there. And then today, VIX sub 20, so 19.21. If we're going to be bullish here this morning, right, we're going to look for a continuation of the VIX basically dropping down, right? So maybe sub 19, getting to the 18 handle. If we're going to get a good bearish scenario, I would anticipate the VIX to kind of climb back up above 20. And then we can kind of go from there. And that's about it, team. Any questions here this morning? So generally across the board, right, we're seeing a lot of like inside bars or weak trending price action, right, or a element of momentum that's like lackluster. That's the word I was looking for, right? So we want to see a decent amount of enthusiasm show up here. Good morning, Kenneth. And if that enthusiasm shows up, right, then we can have ourselves a little bit of joy and a little bit of some momentum for us to take advantage of. So very much looking forward to seeing how the market wants to behave here today. And hopefully, right, we can now take that next step, right, and keep pushing to new all-time highs in our portfolio. Like I said, it's been a great trading week here so far, right? Everyday green, some really nice sized winners, portfolio at all-time highs. So a lot of what today and tomorrow is going to be like both a physical capital and mental capital preservation. So focusing on the variables I can control, not taking any premature entries, not chasing any setups that are subpar, not taking any disproportionate amount of risk just so I feel alive. Like it's going to be all about almost like delaying that gratification and understanding that the market loves to make me feel like an idiot, right? And not giving it that basically power over me by basically being so stubborn with my rules that I have no choice but to be rewarded. When I follow my rules, when I follow my process, when I follow my structure, I do very, very well. When I ignore those narratives and I skip those steps, then I tend to struggle, right? And every trader tends to struggle. So let's be very cautious here. Let's be very patient. Let's focus on, maintaining, right, our element of discipline. And then from there, we should have ourselves a fantastic trading day. I have a couple of milestones right in here that I want to share with the team. So the Force Guru, going to identify you as that in here. Congratulations. Today is your first day of being a full-time trader. So that is a fantastic accomplishment. You should be very thrilled and very proud of taking that next leap. Congratulations. I know many individuals here are looking to also accomplish that same objective. I'm very proud of you for taking that next step here inside your trading. That for me, right, is the ultimate step towards freedom. So congratulations on, getting nudged in that direction and finally having that opportunity to chase your desires and your dreams. With that being said, right, don't trick yourself into feeling like today has got to be the day where you're now all of a sudden a millionaire, right? So I will only speak for myself here, but there's a lot of like adrenaline on taking that next step, right? On making that decision. And so just don't allow that enthusiasm to get you to separate away from what actually has made you successful in the past, right? So you've been making good money trading because you've been following your rules, you've been trusting your process, you've been focusing on your risk management. And now that this is your full-time gig, don't change anything, right? Keep doing what's been working. Don't try to reinvent the wheel here, because you have all the skills, styles, and techniques that you need to turn this into that FU money that you deserve. And I'm looking forward to helping you get there. So congratulations, man. That is fantastic. And let's take that next step here and really push it higher. Good morning, Raim. Good morning, Suresh. So, guys, any questions here? All right, team, let's absolutely crush it. So we got 5 minutes here till market open. I'm going to go make myself a quick cup of coffee, spend a few minutes here visualizing a successful trading day, and then let's absolutely get ready to dominate the market here this morning. Let's get after it, team. Buzzing. All right, team. So let's have ourselves a fantastic trading day. Let's crush the session. And let's see how the market wants to reward us here today. And yeah, push us, right, towards constantly improving as traders. Talked about this a lot here this week. But this week, the theme for me, right, is about detaching basically my P&L from the quality of my decisions, right? If I focus on my risk management, if I focus on only taking trades that follow my rules, if I focus on controlling the variables I can't control, then I'm inevitably going to be rewarded over the long-term sample, right? It's never going to be, or it's never going to be the reality where I'm one trade away from accomplishing my dreams or my objectives, or, you know, hitting my long-term targets. And so I need to stop basically giving the market that power over me where it feels as if I need to make decisions on a trade-to-trade basis. When I allow that short-term noise to influence my trading decisions, to change my entry logic, to change my stop-loss techniques, to change my position sizing, then I go from being a trader, right, to being someone who lives and dies with the result of each trading decision. And the less I can basically reinforce that, call it P&L, right, roller coaster, the better my trading goes. So I'm not making decisions to optimize my P&L on a trade by trade basis. I'm optimizing my decisions, or I'm making my decisions to follow the rules of my back test, which have been proven with the results and the quality of returns from my stress test, right? And so allowing short-term noise, allowing a loss, allowing a string of losses, allowing a choppy market to get me to deviate away from those decisions is how you go from being a trader to being a gambler. And when you gamble, yeah, it might feel fun, it might feel good, it might feel rewarding. Hell, you might even get a lucky win here and there, right? Because you bet on red and you got a nice spin at the roulette table. But long term, if you behave like a gambler, the house will always win. And so instead of, you know, being the sucker at the slot table, right, we're looking to play or we're looking to execute our edge over a large sample size. And that means, right, not expecting a positive P&L result on each decision. That is understanding that, hey, some trades I'm going to lose money on, some trades I'm going to win money on. And it's understanding that each decision isn't a like sentence, right? It isn't a life sentence. It isn't like a reflection of how good you are, or a reflection of your self-worth as an individual, your self-worth as a trader. And so we cannot allow those things to feel personal. When we make our trading personal, then we start to get like that terrible negative self-talk, right? We start to chase decisions, right? We start to look for excuses for our problems instead of taking accountability for how we solve them. And so I would really push everyone, right, to understand that successful trading occurs on the side of like that period of discomfort, right? It is surviving those uncomfortable feelings that ultimately makes you feel as if you're going to be rewarded in the long term. It is taking accountability for your decisions and understanding that, hey, I wanted to gamble here today and I didn't. That ultimately makes you better at following your rules. It is surviving your drawdown and making new all-time highs in your portfolio that reinforces your ability to trust your system and your technique. So don't cheat yourself of those skill gains, right? Don't cheat yourself of those opportunities to get new experience points, right? And to level up your skill set by living and dying with each trading result. Because it's not like that, right? No one wins 100% of the time. Hell, no one even wins as a day trader like 90% of the time. So if you're expecting yourself to be that successful, you are not setting yourself up to actually be profitable long term. So make sure, right, that your mindset matches your long-term objectives and that the expectations you're placing on yourself are actually putting you in situations where you're getting that basically reward for you being you, right? If today needs to be a green day, otherwise you can't pay your bills, then realistically you're putting yourself in a situation where you're not trading your process, you're trading your P&L. If today needs to be a green day so that you can prove to yourself that, hey, I'm actually a good trader, you're not trading your process, right? You're trading your P&L. So if you want to be good at what you do, if you want to be, one of the best in the world at something, then it's not about giving yourself those kind of unfair expectations. It's about controlling what you can control and setting yourself up to actually be successful long term. Does that make sense, everyone? All right, so we have a chance here, right, on an NQ early doors breakdown. Pretty aggressive moves here, both on ES and NQ, right? So those weak gap ups that we talked about, right, seem to be playing out here relatively well. Just maybe a little bit concerned about the psychological levels that we're bouncing off of, right? Early morning volume maybe is a sign of capitulation more than continuation, right? Pretty rarely we see a second candle of the day be an increasing volume standard, right? So I know pretty rarely that's what we see inside the markets. So trying to buy myself a little bit of time here. So the most recent example was October 1st. We got some good downside continuation all day. Cool. I'm just thinking about where to target here. Probably 2,300, right, would be the starting point for NQ. And then for ES, right, 58.80, 58.90. So let's see. Again, in no rush here to make a decision, right? Because we've seen both ES and NQ here now touch their psychological level, so 2,400 and 5,900, and then bounce back higher, right? 30 points on ES, 30 points on NQ, 5 points on ES. So no need to rush into this here yet. Looking a little bit better now on NQ. So let's start to set this up a little bit. Stop loss 20.48. And need an entry like above 2022 or 24.22, right? So 24.2350 would be the starting point here for an entry. That's a little bit too fast of a move higher, right? So be patient here still. Good morning, Rod. So what we've seen so far on this candle, right, is that price action has moved higher faster than it has moved lower, right? So if we're thinking about what would strong bearish price action look like, it would be basically a slog higher, right, and a flush lower, for lack of a better term, right? If we want to see market flush, you want to see the toilet be like a little bit clogged, right, as it's making higher highs, and to see it absolutely flush through without any resistance, right, if you're making lower lows. So a little bit of a disgusting analogy here to start the session off, but maybe we want to see that fake out happen here, right, prior to us being aggressive, right? We've been stopped out on any trade here to the downside so far, so very limited reasons, right, to need to be aggressive here as of yet. Now with NQ, maybe you could do something like this, a 24.86, right, stop loss on that pullback technique here. Should actually be probably a little bit tighter, 485. Good timing, Jay. So 485 potentially. 20 points away. So as is, right, this would be a one contract play. So it's time, 9:42. We've got some data at 10. Again, we've got some reasons to be a little bit cautious, right? But pretty rare we see that second candle of the day be an increasing volume standard. Starting to behave a little bit better. So we need it to get up until like 460-ish, right, to be an entry short. And I can get a risk-reward entry here, right? But I can't get the position sizing I want or stay within my max loss number. So I need to wait for a deeper pullback before I can basically pull the trigger, right? So let's see if we can find some resistance here. Starting to watch closely. So stop loss would be 485. And if I don't get an entry on this candle, right, not a big deal. I can be patient. I don't have to rush this. I don't have to force a trade. I don't have to force a decision. I don't have to feel the pressure that I got to make money here today, right? Those are all self-imposed limiting beliefs. Right? If you're a trader, we get paid for our decisions, not our time. So it's about optimizing for a quality of decisions, not about feeling like, oh, I got to force this trade in here today just so that I feel like I did something significant. And for sure, maybe we would have made 13 points. But I don't know if that's enough, right, to be like, yeah, life is good. So watching carefully here still. NQ would be my bias. So let's see. Still waiting here, still waiting. ES not exactly moving anywhere either, right? Bounced off of 900 and now at 907. So this is early sell-off, but not necessarily an early continuation. So again, have not missed out on anything here yet. Right? And I'm trying to get my entry timing to be green right away because I don't want to drain any mental capital on a bad entry timing, right? The longer I spend in drawdown, the more likely I am to compound mistakes later on in that trade. So that was a good reaction there. Still want to see a bit more. All right, guys, I am in average price 466.75. One contract. And this is not behaving the way that I would like early. So let's be careful here. Just a little bit early on my entry here, potentially. Let's see if it can break down, though. Okay, guys, I'm going to close my position here. Oh, actually, still in. Buying myself just a second. Just a little bit nervous about how this is behaving. Down 185, 110. All right, let's see if this thing can break down here. Just survived. All right, see if this thing can go. $9.49. Come on. It doesn't want to seem to get under that 70 handle. Decreasing volume. Can I just survive this? Come on. Come on, break down here. All right, there we go. Got stopped out. Okay, definitely the right call to have stopped out. So my thesis here is to play this opening range breakout strategy, right? So I'm looking for either breakdowns here through the opening range, reversals on a failed move, right? Or a reversal above. So here, right, I got an opening range breakdown here on an increasing outlier volume standard. So I was looking for a continuation breakdown here this morning. A chance again with this as like the possible fake out entry technique. So down 365 on the morning here so far. Okay, so we got 5 minutes here till market data, so I'm going to wait for that to drop. Maybe a little bit unlucky with the timing there. So a little bit unlucky. Yeah, I hear that, Rusty. I hear that. Definitely makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, I mean, there's always pros and cons to everything, right? So, I mean, you call yourself a nice 40-point winner. Can't really complain. Let's see how this candle closes going into data. Still think we have a bearish bias here still. Okay, so we've got another signal here for a possible breakdown opportunity. Yeah, a little bit unlucky here. A little bit unlucky. Not the end of the world. All right, so 8 seconds here. So let's see if we want to see it make a breakdown here under 2350. right? Or pull back into something like this. Now, 60-point stop loss, too big for me. So, obviously, that would not be a need a deeper pullback here into like the 70s at the least. So, I'd prefer to see the aggressive entry technique kind of come to play here. So, stop loss as is, 54.50. So there's that aggressive entry technique. Let's see if we can get this thing to pull back. Come on. Okay, so watching closely here, team. Watching closely. Oof. Man, how did we get shaken out of this? That's so mean. That's so mean. Nice work, Rusty. Should be a monster day, man. Congratulations. All right, so now we're going to be watching this on the 3-min. And again, potentially aggressive entry technique. Okay. So as is, stop loss 399.50. Okay, maybe I have to be a little bit higher now. Okay, and all of a sudden, back in business for the possible pullback technique. Again, being very patient and cautious here. Little inside bar changes nothing. If I can get my stop loss to be right around 400, that would be ideal. Okay, so now 450. Okay, it's got to make a lower low here. If it does, then we can look for a pullback into this 71 area. Come on. That was such a mean fake out. Oh. Is ES the better play? Okay, so again, stop loss back to being 415. Thinking about my sweet darling ES here a little bit. Trying to get that aggressive technique to work for me here. We're getting just a little bit stuck. Okay, so again, watching. He's got to make a lower low here under this 71.25. Hasn't happened yet. And then a tick-by-tick pullback. Ooh, it wants to. Okay, so watching closely. There's that lower low. Now we want to see it pull back into 76 or better. All right, there we go. So I am in, guys, 377. Why does it do that to me? Come on. And not a perfect entry here. Come on. Come on, survive. Still in here for now. All right, that's my stop. Ah, It's faked out twice on these breakdowns. It's a little bit frustrating. might end up getting a bit of a reversal scenario here. 2 failed breakdowns at psych levels. So putting a little dent here, it's fine. Failed breakdown. Love to see an increasing volume there. Don't think I'm going to get it. Capitulation, fake out, reversal. There's no volume. Nice work, Rusty. Congratulations. Starting to look for a reversal here. Yeah, I mean, you had that breakdown to 370. I think probably on that failed breakdown under 400, that's got to be the chance to get out. Should be increasing volume here now. I see this as the trade, truth be told. 436.50. All right, guys. I am in at 446.25. This is 2 contracts. So far, so good here. So far, so good. But let's see if it's got more separation. Fingers on the trigger here. That's 400 bucks, 600 bucks. All right. So let's see if it's got some more juice. Low vol fake out, right? Separation away from the low of day and then increasing volume. So this has a chance. Come on. So that's 700. Let's see if it's got the legs here. Come on. ES looks like it's bouncing as well. Okay, get back up above 60 here with some conviction, and we should be in good business here. Come on. Teasing me a little bit here, just teasing. Come on. I know you wanna. Alright, so now we want to see it blast here, right? Get past 70. And then that'll push us to green on the day. So let's see if it's got the legs here. Anyone in this with me? Nice, Karat. All right, let's see if this thing can go. It's teasing me. Just need to get it over that 60 and hold. Ooh, that I didn't like. All right, guys, I am out. Take the win, take the small win. Closed at 52. See if we can reset this. Nice work, Topher. Okay, right call for sure. Woo! Just got stuck just a little bit there at the end. That's a big dump. All right. Just. Yeah, that was a great close. Whew. So that might be that final bearish capitulation there. Bounced right off of 400, right? Algo induced right at 1030. Did we miss something? Nat gas storage, maybe? Feels... I don't know if that would be it. Well, what did we, like, the reason why I had a reason to close, right, is we hit that 2460, and then once we hit that 2460, right, we kept seeing elevator down, stairs up, right, elevator down, stairs up. So we knew there was a wall of sellers there. Question is, who's in control now? So that's the fake out technique here setting up. Can I go aggressive here? Well, you could code it up if you wanted to, but just make it visual, Ben. I mean, it's not hard to be able to visualize that. Outlier, right, is anything above that white line. So it's easy to visualize. So I'm interested in a long here again. Stop at 38.50 or 38. Let's see. All you need to do, Ben, right, is just set that moving average line and use that as your reference point. I don't understand why you would need it more complicated than that. Right? So 26.25 now as a stop. So that'd be one contract, maybe two if you can get it under 40. Well, you can set alerts, right? Add alert. Just add the white line, right? And set it there. But again, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. It's just the default. It's just the default. All I use is the default settings for everything, guys. Okay, so now 396.25. 10:38, still time. Down about 600 on the day, maybe. 365 plus 515. So 880 minus 260. So like 590 on the day so far. Minus 590. One good decision away here. Yeah, another little interesting spot. Again, increasing outlier volume, fake out below. If I can get a close, that's decent. I'm back in business. This is really aggressive to the downside here, but that would be the other possible scenario. Glad to hear, glad to hear. So again, here's your breakdown, fake out, bearish confirmation. I think short's probably the better bias. Maybe on this 15 NQ might be better than the 10. Again, let's see if we can get this thing to go. All I'm trying to do here, right, is find the right risk-reward ratio to justify a breakdown. I think I just missed my entry here at that, like, 47, which is unfortunate. So how well can I pull this off? Feels challenging. Points. So stop loss have to be 319-ish. Sorry, 419-ish. 16 points, 15 points, 15 points. $403, a little bit higher. Trying really hard to not be stressed out about my entry price here, right? So generally, right, when you feel a little bit like you're trying to rush an entry, the first time you feel like you got to pull the trigger is the wrong time. It's generally the second time, right? That's the better entry. So watching short here again. All right, and I am in short here, guys. 405.75. And it's 2 contracts. Okay, that's 700. Let's see if this thing can break. Come on. I want to see it flushing, right? Want to see it flush. Great entry, Mike. Great entry. Okay, that's 800. Come on. Nice work, Juan. Great entry as well. Come on. Flush through this 80. Come on. There's 1,000. Let's keep going. Well, it's the 2R range one, right? So it's double whatever the opening range is. So it's this white line here, 2051. We'll see if we actually hold out for that long. I'm a little bit debating closing it here. Because it's a little bit late in the day. I'm a little bit worried that the price action is going to go full Aladdin on me. And give me a little magic carpet ride and then a rug pull. Nice work, Herschel. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about too here. Come on, break down. Stay under 90. $86, $88, $89. Come on. Again, decent entry here, which makes my life a little bit easier. Right, I've been green right away, but I'm just very nervous about the fake out. Jinxed myself, clearly. Come on. Nice work, Juan. I'm still in here, but fighting a little bit. I don't like that little pullback, though. It doesn't feel great. Yeah, I hear that, man. I hear that. Maybe I should have just taken that $1,000 when I had it. It's a little bit sloppy. All right, guys, I am going to look to close here. So I'm out, team. I am out. Gives me another chance. Maybe can jump back in. That fake out just makes me nervous. So plus $70. I still think this has a chance to give me another opportunity to jump in. But just stopped behaving like I wanted it to. So either it's going to give me a chance to get in at a better entry price, right? Or once I get a bit more separation away from this range. Cam 58. 2 for 4 on the day, down about $450. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm still looking at here, correct? Just trying to get some separation away from this 400. Not really breaking down. Not really breaking out. So still in play here a little bit. I just don't know what the right entry timing is as of yet. I've been stopped out. Yeah. Oh, we've been close. Okay, let's see if this thing can break and hold here. Some decent strength. 94 again. Okay, so 394 as a stop loss here would be the spot. Maybe 409. Let's see. I would love to keep it under 400. Because basically the thesis you want here, right, is separation away from 400. Yes, maybe better. New low of day. Targeting 880. This could be a sweeter mistress. So stop 401.75. 1104. So this will now be a 1 contract play. $79, $82. All right, guys, we're taking another shot here. 385.50, 1 contract. Ooh, Prima Charlie, Michael. Okay, he's watching this carefully. Entries have been kind of shit today. Say stop at 403. Feel a little bit, yeah. Jumped in, then gave me the wrong candle shape. Do I have to be stubborn here? I don't think so. Come on. All right, I'm out. So that increasing volume, I can't ignore that. Just tells me reversal. Back up above 400s. Oh, this is killing me here. Huh. Well, I was just looking for a continuation of this fake out signal here, Juan, so I was just using the shorter time frame to try to get a better risk reward entry. I think my thesis was pretty clear. He's trying to maybe get that reversal set up here. So I got maybe one more shot in me. And just what's been a all over the place day here. Again, you'd want to use aggressive entry technique here, ideally, right, to keep the risk tight. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like here, right? Especially now it's late in the day. You get a decent reversal volume set up there. So if I can get this thing to break out right above this high on this 10-min, I think that gives me a pretty decent setup. So 416 stop loss. And this will be my last shot here regardless. Go maybe 2 units. All right, so there we go. I am in. Average price 429. Let's see. And this is the last shot here, team. Okay, so far so good here. So far so good. Maybe jinxed it. I don't need much here. So on that breakdown trade, I was green on the day and I didn't take it. So I'm not going to make that mistake here. Come on, fly up here, you lunatic. Come on. Points. Come on. Come on. Making me work here. There we go. So we can get a bit more follow through. Ooh. There we go. See if we can get some more here, team. See if we can get some more. Past 40 and we're in great shape. Come on. Come on, get above 40. Keep going. Man, every now and then the market makes me want to work. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. $29, $43, $45. Get above 50 now. Come on. Plus 400. It's down like 300 on the day. I just need to get to 50. Not think too much in dollars and cents here. But we're in good shape. I don't have many reasons to be pessimistic here yet. Come on. So 14. $600 here. It's close. We're damn close. A breakout above 50 and I'm golden. Come on, do it. Do it. That's 20 points. That's $800. That's up about $100 on the day. I know, Kratz, the worst. Making us work for a living. Come on. That's starting to feel a bit more like a rejection now. Come on. You could do it. I believe in you, NQ. Still a higher high, higher low. Down 150. Come on. Nice work, Kenneth. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Keep going. Nah, I don't think it will. It's just teasing me here. 422, 423.50. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. All I have stuck in my head here right now is shake it off. I'm not sure what that means. Probably means I'm sick in the head more than anything else. And the haters gonna hate, hey. That's all I know. That's all that's stuck in my head. But I'm just trying to translate it to like some market term here. $100. I kind of feel like I should just take this. I've been bailed out a little bit. Come on. $28. $31. Come on. You can do it. Plus 360, 370, 380. Come on. So close. So mean. 400. Come on, come on. This is a busy day here to lose 300 bucks. Ah, da, 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 da. Come on. We've survived this much. Shake it off. Shake it off. Oh. There's a reason I can't have a real job. If I tried to behave like this in any other world, they'd think I'm some freak. Can only function as a trader. So close. I feel pretty good about the thesis, not so great about the timing of it. That's not very helpful, but let's see. That's +7. Come on, you can do it. Get above 50 with some conviction, you lunatic. 8. Nice work, Karat. Let's go. That's 50. Break out above 50 and we're in business. Oh, well done. Yeah, that's a great entry. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. Alright, that's 51. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Ooh. Don't do it again to me. Don't do it again to me. This mother. I have to rinse my mouth out with soap after this. Come on. $451. Push. Push, 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 push. So if this closes under 450, I'm out in a minute, right? So that's going to be my Alamo here, if you want to call it that. So let's get some separation. $10-min candle, 10:30. It's a big, big time, big level. Here we go. Come on, you lunatic. Come on. I'm talking to myself as much as the market there. $970. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you bugger. Come on. This is such a tease. Alright, here we go. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Come on. Come on. Do it. Yeah, now nicely green on the day here. But let's see if we can get this thing back up to go green to red reversal. And then we're in great, great shape. We had to fight today, Bert. We had to fight, man. Oh, I don't know what's worse, the construction outside my apartment or the price action this morning. Target is high of day. So we'll see if we can get there. I'm also just debating closing this and running away. Because that's going to be like plus 1,400 here. So about 700 bucks on the day. And this has been a worker's day. Well, my dog just came to me. That's usually a sign. Hey, buddy. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. All right, I'm going to close here. Just looking for like a 55 maybe, 56. See how this bounces. Or you do stop loss like 47. All right, guys, I closed on that pop there, out at 59. Oh. Holy smokes. Busy. Huh. Any questions here, team? All right, how you guys feeling? Better? Oh, yeah, I'm starting to worry about how you met your partner here. Busy day. Oh my gosh, how many trades is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 for 5 on the day. This is the most trades have taken in a long time. I mean, I'm only teasing, of course. All right, do some math here. So 671.70 on the day. Holy busy. NQ Chaos is going to be the setups here today. Any questions here, team? Any questions? All right, team, any questions here? Any questions? Look at NQ go, 477. I don't want to see this. What a meanie. What a meanie. That's 6 green days in a row here, right? So I won't complain about that, but man, did I have to work for it here today. Good risk management, losing small made it easy, right, to stay in the game. I think from a fundamental perspective, that is one thing that I can be very proud of here today. But got chopped up probably a little bit too much. Maybe got a little bit too committed to wanting to just be green. I'm thinking objectively here. But yeah, I didn't take any like max losses. Never was really down more than $1,000 on the day. So I kept my risk reasonable, which I respect myself for. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have too many complaints here on how I traded. Again, I hate starting the day off with a loser and then having to fight for it. But today, okay, right? Nice and green. Just keep stacking them up, right? Good capital preservation Friday or Thursday, setting me up for a nice capital preservation Friday. And boy, oh boy, are we having to work here this week. So market's keeping us honest. I will not complain about that. That's fine. You think today was an emotional day, Spiro? Like, do you think I was, like I was making that more challenging, or do you think it was just the market in general? I'm a little bit confused by your statement. Any feedback there, Spiro, or just gonna keep that to yourself? Fair enough. I would disagree, but what I try to do, right, once I'm in a trade is just share every thought I have, good, bad, or ugly. And in reality, right, when you're in, having a red day and you're trying to get back to green, there's that fight between trusting your system and trading your P&L. And I'm always going to do my best to show you what that fight looks like and how I fight through it. But I do appreciate the feedback. It's something I'll think about how I can improve. Any other questions here, team? Any other questions? Well, hopefully what you learn from, right, is how you try to ignore those and you make how price action behaves objective, right? So we set, targets that we need to see price close and hold over. We set specific entry zones, risk management areas, max loss numbers. And those are the things that you can learn from. And then it's about ignoring basically those emotional cues and allowing price action to follow your plan, right? And following your plan isn't always going to feel pretty or easy or emotionless. It's impossible to hide those things. So when you're risking hundreds of thousands of dollars a trade, it's as much as you want to be stoic, that's not the reality, right? So it's about understanding that, hey, you're going to feel these things, you're going to experience these things, but you're just not making decisions based off of that information, right? Like on NQ, we wanted to see hold above that 50 area, right, on that previous candle. Closed at 52, awesome, right? So we know we can look to hold on and keep going. Okay, then it pulls back, fakes out, and then goes again, fine. But on decreasing volume, you're not holding super convincingly, just take the profit and run. Max loss today was a $515 hit. It's okay, right? You're going to lose, it's going to happen. You're going to get slapped in the face here every now and then. But yeah, we're not expecting ourselves to not have emotions, right? That's unrealistic. We're just expecting ourselves to not believe every single one that we have, right? That's the difference. All right, guys, here. Final call for questions. Final call for questions. Of course, right? This one of the things that I found really, really funny. So Peter, the guy who I used to work for, let's put it this way: he wasn't trading for money at that point, right? He was trading because he wanted to win the game. So, like, he didn't need the money. The guy had billions of dollars, and his the carpet in his office, you couldn't walk there barefoot because there'd be broken glass everywhere. Just like little shards of broken glass from him punching monitors, throwing his mug at the monitor, all these sort of things, right? But he never changed his trading plan. He never changed essentially what his thesis was or anything along those lines. But you're a competitor, right? People who are traders, I would say a lot of us are like A-type personalities, and we have high expectations for ourselves. We hold ourselves to a high standard. And yeah, we feel, right, each decision. It's like, when Steph Curry hits a big three-pointer in the Olympics, right, to go up in the gold medal game. He lets out a roar when he scores it, right? He doesn't just sit there, tail between his legs, and not feel that moment, right? So it's no different for when you're trading. Of course. You feel that big shot, right? You feel the agony of a missed shot. And so to pretend that you don't, or to expect yourself not to, is different, right? That's unrealistic. Yet when Steph Curry, when he misses the game-winning three, he still takes the next one, right? And he still takes the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. because that's what his game is. So it's the same for us when we trade. We're going to experience those highs and lows. We're going to experience that self-doubt. We're going to experience losing streaks, right? And to not expect ourselves to feel those things, to pretend we don't exist, or that they don't exist. I think the only people that don't feel that is those paper traders, right? Those social media warriors who never have a losing day because they take one position long, one position short, and just show you a screenshot of it all being good. So I would challenge you to find any consistently profitable trader who doesn't feel those emotions, and understanding that, hey, they're all a part of the game, but it's just not allowing those emotional cues and triggers to trick you into doing something that you know you shouldn't do, right? When Steph Curry has a miss from the three-point line, his next shot isn't a heave from half court, right? He still just gets back to his, his hot spot, takes another go, tries again, right? Resets, and doesn't make it personal. It's the same with trading. All right, team. Final call here. Final call. I got a one-on-one in a few minutes, so got to jump off. Well, truth be told, it was two primary reasons. So one, I'd say three reasons. So when I was working for the family fund, it was in a place called Guernsey, and it's a terrible place to live. So it's a tax haven. You make an incredible amount of money. You don't pay any income taxes on it. All this kind of stuff was fantastic, but there's just nothing to do there. And so I was 25, right, when I decided to leave, and was just bored, right? Like, all you did on the weekends was get blackout drunk with your friends because there was nothing else to do. So for someone who was didn't have a family or anything along those lines, it was a terrible place to live. The second element was essentially a really good friend of mine, guy who I lived with while I was there. He ended up dying on the desk. So he had a heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and essentially undiagnosed. And one day he literally just keeled over and died. And this was like 4 months after he had just gotten married. And so telling his fiance, or his wife then at the time, like what happened, and explaining it to him or to her and his family and his brother and all this kind of stuff, and just hearing how they all basically said like he was gonna do it next month, right? Oh, he was gonna go move in with Batul in 6 months, right? In three months, whatever the target was. Can't remember exactly what it was, but he kept putting off like living his dream life, right? And so that made me feel really like, what am I doing this for, right? Truth be told, like, if it could just disappear in an instant, like, why would I want to give my time living in a place where I'm not really happy living, where I'm just like making my money? Kind of just felt like I was selling my soul. And then the third reason was Brexit. So I was in the UK as a European citizen. My parents are both Polish immigrants, so I have that Polish passport. And the fund that I was working for was very pro-Brexit. So when I had my last bonus meeting, one of the things that they used against me to basically negotiate down my bonus was that they'd have to sponsor me for a visa once Brexit happened. And I just spent the last 2.5 years making them a ton of money, trading these ideas, doing all those sorts of stuff. So all those things combined, I was like, screw it. Like, I'd rather not sell my soul, pretty much. So, Guernsey was a terrible place to live with horrific weather and like 15,000 people, so nothing to do. I was too young to settle down. And then obviously all the situations with Bilal is like one of my best friends. And I was like, okay, that's kind of humbling. Like, I don't want that to be how I go. And then just feeling like I was working for an employer that was willing to pay me well, but treat me like crap or treat me like garbage. Where, yeah, I felt like I was getting negged on. And so I just didn't feel like it was worth it. And truth be told, the calculation I had, okay, once I got my bonus and I converted it back to Canadian dollars and did all that sort of stuff, I was at 7 figures. So I kind of felt like I could pull it off. And yeah, ended up buying a place in cash and doing all that kind of stuff and just sorted myself out. But yeah, it was a little bit impulsive for sure. And very happy I did it. All right, guys, final call here, final call. I got 2 minutes. I should have held on to this trade for sure, too. All right, team. Well, if no final call for questions, I'm going to kill the stream here. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the day. Feel like I left a little bit of money on the table here this afternoon or this morning, but I'll take it. And hopefully we can finish off the week here well tomorrow with one nice trade, one nice win, and without too much stress and anxiety. So have yourselves a great one, team. Catch up with a few of you in our one-on-ones here later this afternoon. And looking forward to, finishing off the week with a bang here tomorrow. So have yourselves a great day, and we'll talk soon.